I am Crypto Wendy O, and I want to thank all you guys for coming to my meetup, and thank Cryptospace for having me. Do you guys want to go first, or do you want me to talk?
So, Cryptospace, a lot of people are like, oh, what is this place? So, this is a crypto lounge. So it's an official cash lounge where we can have a space for people to meet and learn about blockchain technology and about cryptocurrency. So, usually every day when we close around 7, we have different free workshops, and this one is very special with Wendy O, the summer trading workshop. And in different types of meetups, Ken back there does a Crypto 101 meetup that's on security and just a bunch of different things that's really valuable. And so what we do here is it's a place where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency safely and legally. So you can come in, buy and sell, get help setting up security, digital wallets, ledgers, and just learn. And we also have some shared workspace for people that have businesses that are related to blockchain or crypto. And pretty much we're just here nerding out on crypto all day. We're here to help. And some people ask like, oh, so you guys sell coffee? We're like, no, coffee's free. I'm like, oh, so you sell plants now? I'm like, oh, so you sell workshops? We're like, workshops are free. It's really buying and selling, and the bulk of what we do is work with a lot of miners, liquidating coins, internet stores, some other projects. But this is really important to us because it's all about adoption. People that are in crypto right now or coming into this space, it's all about adoption. So the chance of somebody coming in and having a good experience, if they're completely by themselves, it's not so high. But if they have a place to go like this, the chances of them having a good experience are much higher, because they could avoid one of the thousands of mistakes that we made getting started.
Yeah, I mean, we started a long time ago in 2012, but there was no way, there was no Coinbase, you didn't know where to get crypto, so it's like every single mistake you could think the person would make, we made them all. Like hundreds of ways how not to do it, and unfortunately, we lost over 95% of everything that we had between scams on eBay, Craigslist, PayPal, human error, sending them to the abyss, hacks on online exchanges, everything. So just know that, and then it was crazy. So just wanted to have a place where, people not make the same mistakes that we did. It's a good one.
It's really generous.
Yay.
Is there someone else here?
Oh yeah, the machine, the ATM is actually it's a prototype. It's what we're looking at the miner right now. It's a cash vault management system. So it currently sells about 9 different cryptos. Eventually it'll be hundreds of them. You can buy and sell up to $10,000 on the machine. You'll be able to use your crypto and get the cash and pay your utility bills, your cell phone minutes, gift cards. Even Overstock.com, say you don't have a bank account and you don't have a credit card, you can put cash and buy stuff on Overstock.com, or you can convert your crypto to cash and shop there. So it's a real tricky business, and you can arbitrage crypto and dollars there. So say you're not into crypto and you just want to use ATM, and this ATM has too much money, you'll send them a little alert like, hey, throw out $500 at Cryptospace and we'll give you $510. So it incentivizes the people to move the money around to put crypto and take it out. And we're the official distributors for them. We have 10 machines coming out in the next 30 days. We're going to put them in LA and certain parts of Mexico. So yeah, so those will be out there with Cryptospace machines.
Nice. Yeah. All right.
And we're excited that Wendy is here. And could I let them know the good news?
Yes. Yes.
So this was originally a summer workshop. We had Wendy here for the summer. And we just found out that we're going to be able to do this beyond the summer. So once a month we'll still have these workshops. They've been so fun.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we'll probably do them depending on my school schedule. I'm thinking Fridays we can, like once a month Fridays, maybe we can figure out which one, but we can do it. And then maybe they have all these delicious food places in San Pedro, so maybe we can do like tacos after or pizza after, and go get drinks or like whatever. So we'll make it like a fun, like educational thing, and then we can do like a night out also and just hang out and nerd out. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I am Wendy O. I started trading I actually entered crypto, the space, in November 2017. I started getting wrecked because I just was like, oh, this is really awesome. Like things are like going really well. I'm going to buy crypto and make all this money all the time. But that wasn't the case. So what happened was I started buying the tops of everything. I started getting wrecked. I had no idea what I was doing. And then I was like, okay, well, I need to do something about this, be proactive. So then I started learning TA. So what I did was, the first thing I did was I went on eBay and I bought these two nerdy books. Like I paid like 20 bucks for both of them. They're used. This one is Technical Analysis, The Complete Idiot's Guide. So this has all the really good stuff about support and resistance and Bollinger Bands and just different things. And I like hard copies of things, and this is really good because you can go back and like obviously like make notes and whatever. So I use this one a lot even still. And then another one that I read some of it, and I'm not really good with the candlestick charting, but it's important because you can sometimes spot patterns. But there's this one too, it's Candlestick Charting for Dummies. Both are on eBay used, and they're really good resources because sometimes people are really good at technical analysis and then not so good at candlestick charting, and then vice versa. Like if you can spot one of these patterns in a chart, it's very, very helpful for you, helpful to you. Like they have like bearish engulfing candles and bullish engulfing candles and hanging man and all that type of stuff, and dojis, and they're really helpful to see when possible reversals incoming. So those are two really good resources that I use. But other than that, I know most of you here, but I wanted to, the newer people that are here, I wanted to let you guys know that this is more of like an open discussion. I want you guys to ask questions. If I'm talking about something and you don't understand, ask a question, ask somebody behind you, in front of you, whatever. Like we're all here to learn together because I'm still learning a lot of things too. And I don't want to just sit up here and lecture about stuff because some people don't understand sometimes, and then it gets really boring, and I want to keep everybody engaged because this is a community effort. So all the new people, and as far as trading goes, what is your, like, do you know anything about trading or at all? Or you just
nothing.
No. And then how did you get into crypto? Or when?
I've been hearing about it from different friends.
Okay.
And then just looking to learn and everything. So I've been playing around a little bit, but I need to learn.
Okay.
So
you're in the right place.
Pardon?
You're in the right place, yeah.
Like Twitter is great, but a lot of it is just way over.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I like technical analysis so much is because it gives you like a basis, like kind of an idea of what you're doing, like when you're buying and selling. And if you can enter into a project at the bottom, or not even at the bottom, like get a better price. Like let's say you're buying something for $200, but you can get it for 190. You're saving money. So essentially, you have that extra money to invest in other things. So that's another reason why I like technical analysis, and it kind of gives you an idea too, as to when you might want to sell.
Right.
Because one of the mistakes I made is I bought the top of a lot of things, and I didn't know when a reversal was coming, so I just held on to them, and I lost money. And I'm still a bag holder of many projects because I didn't know when to
That's kind of where I am right now, so I'm just thinking long term.
Yeah.
But I'm excited and ready to learn.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then your trading experience?
I guess in like November, also December, I had a regular at my Barkman, and he was really into crypto. And I'd heard about it like 4 years before, but I could not understand anything about it. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. But then just, a few months ago, I was like, all right, I'm down. And I started just buying here and there, but I did buy a lot at the top too.
Right.
And also I was just hodling, like I just was holding, and I was starting to learn about trading a little bit. I haven't really done any, but now I am hodling at $50 worth of like $50 Litecoins,
Right.
So I'm a little bit frustrated, so I really want to learn how to kind of navigate all of that.
Okay. Well, you're in the right place. And then you, sir.
Yeah, I'm a friend of Zach.
Okay, so you're just here to hang out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a little bit, so like one time, I don't know a lot about Bitcoin. I'm not even on front, but I'm more like water cooler kind of guy. So stock advice, and I kind of moved on them, and you know, I've been successful at that. But like long-term investing, you know,
Okay.
nothing like you know, like Bitcoin, like this, I guess.
Okay.
But I met a kid though a while ago. He was from SC, and he was a miner. We met each other, and he was like, "Yo, I dad of mine." I was like, "What does that mean?" You know.
What does that mean?
And he basically, like, I don't really know what that means.
I'm like,
but
Ernesto.
What I gathered from what he was telling me is basically, he does the brains behind like this Bitcoin stuff, the infrastructure of
Okay.
how it all works, I guess.
Okay.
And but he's in it, but he's a student and professor at SC. So
Okay.
like he was a geek, you know, a real geek kind of guy. But he was like, you know what? He was like, you know, this Bitcoin phenomenon, you kind of missed the boat on it, but there's this thing called lithium. He was like, you need to, I think it was lithium. One of the Litecoin maybe or something.
Ethereum.
He was trading at like $35 at the time. And he was just like, you know, get on that. And he was just like, he was adamant about it. He was just like, yo, because you kind of missed this boat, but he was like, if you're thinking about
It's never too late.
yeah, and so I was just like, all right. And so then later on I met Zach, and then he's very passionate about this. And I know when you meet people that are passionate about something, you need to lean in on it, try to figure out, you know.
They'll help you.
Yeah, well, they'll help you, and then they'll also teach you about what you don't really understand about it.
Right.
And so, and then like Bitcoin is becoming very commercial now. A lot of people are like, so I look at this one show, and in the episode of the show, they paid off with Bitcoin, and it was like millions of dollars. So they go into a vault, and they just basically take this hard drive out of it, and it's $10 million worth of Bitcoin.
Wow.
And then moving it around, I'm like, that's kind of intriguing, you know, like how you would just go to a bank, put in like a zip drive or something, and download all of this.
Interesting.
I guess. So
Interesting.
it's kind of intriguing. So.
Okay. All right. Well, what I do here is we do basically, I'm not going to tell you when to buy and sell, I'm not giving signals, but I do talk about the techniques and the tools that I use to determine when to enter and when I might want to exit. So I might not be able to help too much as far as exiting because the market is really horrible right now, but I can show you things that you would, like how you would do that. And then you, sir.
Crypto has pretty much taken over my life, for better or worse. I've been losing my appetite. I've definitely been losing sleep. You know, especially now, I feel like we're almost at the bottom. Maybe we've already hit it. I don't know. Like, it's driving me crazy, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. Excited to meet all you guys and share what I know, and hopefully become profitable.
Okay.
Cool. I don't know what motivates a lot of people in this.
Okay, cool. Well, I can definitely help with some of the basic stuff. Did you want to tell your story, Stacy?
Oh, my swing?
Yeah, your swing.
So I usually just buy and hold. And
And you mark it by though too, right? Like you'll just
Yeah,
mark
I
it by.
mark it by.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm all for adoption, but I really don't like spending my crypto because I don't want to feel like I spent $10,000 for a t-shirt one day. But now that we've been doing all this trading stuff, originally I just wanted to know when to buy more. That's why I wanted to learn how to read the charts. But since we've been bouncing around between 6 and 7 for a while, I noticed I was getting a little bit bored. So I'm used to Bitcoin, so I tried the first swing kind of, and usually when I'm going to do a trade, even a market buy, I always ask him should I do it, and he tells me yes or no, and he's like, you decide. And he was gone. He was on a mountain somewhere and he had his phone. I was like, all right, I'm going to do my first swing. And I did it. I even using a Bollinger Band and Stotch. And so it was really cool to just get in there and do it. And I know a lot of people that have been learning about trading and they're like, oh, they've been paper trading for a year. And I'm very impatient. I'm like, no, I don't want to do fake stuff. It's working for free. I want to do it. So I never did any paper trades, but I used the Bollinger Band and Stotch, and I did really well. You were proud when you came back home, Mom.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Fidelity with US dollar time.
USD and BTC, yeah.
That's hard when conceptually to understand too, because it's not traded with a pairing of another coin.
Yeah.
It's to $1, but you want to gain more Bitcoin. It's confusing at first.
Just when we close the transaction, we normally, if increasing, a rebuy, so
Right.
we have zero volatility.
Right.
But since the market's been dropping, we're doing out on the what, I've been kind of like, we'll gamble a little bit, let's just see if it'll go, keep on dropping so I can double the spread. And
Yep.
like, if I'm gone, I'm like, go for it. But
Yeah.
That's
if I
hard,
wanna hold
that's
off,
not an
if I
easy
want to
trade.
pull a trigger.
Yeah,
we do
because
it.
here, like, since you can buy and sell here, we don't wanna carry the risk all the time. And we do instant transactions, so as soon as somebody brings the money, you get it right the same day, you don't have to wait 7 or 10 days. So usually we don't wanna carry that risk, but now I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it, you know, for the weekend and do the first one, and it worked out really well. And what I actually would like help with now, because you were saying that that one's a little more difficult, but for me, it's a little bit more difficult to pair BTC with an altcoin, because I'm not so sure how to look at it in Satoshis.
Okay.
Like, looking at it in dollars, I'm like, okay, I see how I'm doing, but when I look at it in Satoshis, I'm kind of like, how do I gauge how well I'm doing in that trade, you know?
Yeah.
I can
So
sh-
that's where I
we can-
have questions.
Yeah, I can go over CoinMarketCap. Do you know the tool on CoinMarketCap? So yeah, we can go over that, and then Zach can help me out with that a little bit, because I'm just so used to looking at everything in Satoshis now, because when I first started trading, my mentor was like, don't look in USD, like don't look in USD, like just don't. Like the whole purpose why you're trading, he's more of a fundamental guy, market cycle guy, market psychology guy. So like the trading, that was all me, but he was always like, look in Satoshis, because you're trading altcoins to get more Satoshis, so you get, so you get more Bitcoin, because that's our whole goal. Yeah, we can look at that. And
Yeah, when I did well with that one, I almost called you, but it was like 2 in the morning.
oh, I would
It was
have,
like the very bottom, I was like, yes, Wendy. I was like, you know what time it is.
So I have a question, did you so you sold at a higher price and then came back in at a lower price? Did you ladder, do you ladder it
Yeah.
or?
So with that one, it was just, well, it was like in 2 different tranches. We sold at like 68, and I bought in at like just under 61. And then the other one I bought back in at like 62, but it was still
yeah.
That's awesome.
Right.
Sometimes I always like, look, it's a win, don't get greedy, just, you got a little extra, just take the win.
That's another hard part too, is because not only when you're trading, but there's also the emotion of it, because even if does anybody paper trade or know about journaling and all that type of stuff? So really quick, one of the things that I do, and a very, very important part of trading, is you find a coin, you want to enter in it. The first thing you do is you chart your coin out completely. You chart it out, and you look and see if there's a possible setup. And a setup is where you want to enter, and then you determine what your exit is based on your indicators. And the way you do that, you journal it, is you get I personally like to get a notebook, a paper, like manually write it down. So I will get a notebook and I will write down, okay, I want to enter into ETC. And I want to enter it at this price, and I want to exit at this price. And the reason why I want to do it is my Bollinger Bands, or the support and resistance, or the Stoch, or the RSI, or whatever it is. But I have all those reasons written down, so then just as long as it makes sense and it feels like a feasible thing, and I think about it, then I'll go ahead and enter. I'll watch the trade for, the duration of the swing trade. Sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes, whatever it is. And then if it executed correctly, I'll write it down, why it executed it correctly. If it didn't execute, and if it didn't, then I'll write down that reason too. And the purpose of why you do that is, number one, so you can keep track of your trade, and you can keep track of what's going on with your indicators and the changes that are occurring. And then you can also go back and you can see why it worked out and why it didn't. So when you're making another trade, you might see a similar pattern, like a bear flag or a bull flag, or different support and resistance, all these different factors, and you can kind of go back and see why it worked out and it didn't, so you don't make the mistake again. So that's a really important thing. I have a journal, and every single trade I enter or exit, I go ahead and I write down all those things. And then I've heard people say, like on different YouTube videos, that you need to have 3 reasons why you want to enter a trade. It has to line up, it has to make sense. So that's with that. And then I forgot, was I going to talk about something else, or no? Does that make sense? Does anybody have questions about that? No? Okay.
3 reasons why.
Yeah, they say you should have 3 reasons why, like maybe volume looks really good on it, or one of your indicators looks like it's getting ready to pop. I can tell you right now that these 2 indicators here, this one is called the Stoch, and I'll go on and talk about this one in a little bit, and this one is called the RSI. This one the RSI measures price, and the Stoch measures RSI. So if you can get these two to run together, and directions going the same way, they're very good indicators to go off of. If your RSI, because this, oh my gosh, I totally forgot what I was going to say. But this one is generally, I want to say it's a little bit slower than this one. But yeah, they're really good indicators as to what. But if both of these are running together and both can justify, like a good trade, then you would want to write those down and be like, oh, the Stoch is heading up to oversold, or so I'm going to enter, at the support line, and the Stoch is heading, it already went up to oversold, but then it's heading back down to overbought, and then there's a pinch on the Bollinger Band, or like whatever it is. So you get these reasons and you write them down, and they need to make sense. Like if you want to enter into a project, you want to enter it for a bullish reason, as that you think that price is going to go off or it's going to increase soon. And then you want to exit on a trade when it's starting to look bearish. Like for example, this one here, this is called the RSI. And this one, the Stoch RSI. What's really cool about this one gives you gives you crosses. Like, and anytime you get a cross, like if the red line is over this purple line, that's a bearish indicator, and it's going to give you a sell signal. People call them sell or buy signals. I like to call them bullish or bearish because it makes more sense in my head. But right here, what I want to point out is this right here. We're up in the oversold area, so that means people are selling. And then when it gets to a point where they can no longer sell, then it's going to start going down into the buying area. But right here, when we get this cross, this is a really good indication that it's hit oversold and that we should probably sell before the price goes down. So this is a really good visual indicator, because you're seeing once it hits up here, it's going to bounce, because anything that goes up always has to come down all the time. But if you get this cross here, or you see this cross right away, that's probably a good indication that you should sell, or that you should, kind of watch and see what's going on with that. So that's one of the indicators that I use. Is there any questions on that? I like that one because it's really clear to see. Like even if you don't know what overbought or oversold is, you can see that. Like you can see that cross. It's visual representation that it's like time to sell. And then over.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said the Stoch measures the RSI.
Yeah.
So can you explain that?
I can try to explain it. As far as like the super technical, like because all these indicators are all math based. So basically, this is. Can you explain it?
Let me bail you out?
Yeah, please bail me out.
So RSI is relative strength.
Yes,
Yes.
I use RSI all the time. I've never used
It
it.
measures volatility. It's the pressure that's exchanged between buyers and sellers. So if there's like an uptick in new buyers coming in, but it hasn't really been reflected in the price movement yet, it could be volatile because there's a lot of buyers there, but not very many sellers to feed the buyers what they're trying to get. So there's a lot of orders on the book. There's volatility.
So it actually measures the book. It measures the book, not the orders that were transacted.
Yeah, not finalized orders, but the actual pressure of what's on the market.
Interesting.
So, and then that's where you get these buy and sell walls. You get this huge tsunami sell wall and this tiny little buy signal, and all of a sudden it just goes whoosh. That's where your RSI lines flip, and then you come back.
So Stoch
And
is
the Stoch and
short for stochastic.
Stochastic, yeah.
Yeah, so if you were to look it up in like Investopia, you would get the definition of what the stochastic indicator is. Sure. You probably figure it out.
Yeah, no, I can do that. I was gonna see, I have some notes, but I can bring it up definitely.
the Stoch measures the RSI.
Power, which is the center of power between the buying and selling pressure. And that volatility.
See it more.
So the stochastic, it measures price momentum. They're price momentum oscillators that are used to forecast market trends, and the RSI. This is not a really good definition of it because this is just buy or sell. Let me see if I have something better here. Finance. So traditional finance people, they don't use TA, which makes no sense to me, but they don't. They use fundamental analysis, so they use all the like information about stuff. Like, yeah, because I was in a finance club at school, and I know it didn't make sense to me why they didn't use this, because I'm like, why wouldn't you want to put both together to like deal with like 401ks and mutual funds and all that type of stuff? But
Because if the students lose money, it makes school look bad.
I know, but I'm like, but still, okay, so I don't know, I did some definitions, but I don't have a really good one here.
Yeah, it's important to like understand the definitions of these things. There's a lot of terminology.
Yeah, but also too, I feel like sometimes they're hard to understand, the definitions,
Yeah, they are.
because they're really math-based.
Read it several times.
Yeah, I don't know, I know what they mean, and I know how to use them, but as far as like, because they're all math-based, like it's all with moving averages, and the candles, and this, and the standard deviation divided by this, and I'm like,
Yeah, the formulas are like.
yeah. So I mean, I've read the definitions, and I just I'm more of a visual person when it comes to this, because TA to me is all about recognizing patterns and seeing stuff. Like if you see, like I said here with the cross, that's a sell, it's a sell signal. You want to get it before price goes down. And you can, oh, go ahead.
I like what you said when you were talking about pick one indicator and see how you like that one and then pick up another one.
Yeah.
Because that's actually how I'm starting to understand the other ones. Because I read the other descriptions and I'm just more confused. So I just started using Bollinger Bands, and I read the other ones, but I was like, I have no idea what that means. But then I could kind of see the way they react alongside the Bollinger Band.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I understand what they do. I don't understand the equations or anything like that, or what.
Even the
I read
definitions.
about it, but just looking at it, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
So I like when you said like pick one up and then just add more as you understand them.
Right, like the
Well,
first,
determination or the definition of an oscillator, I'm not that familiar with.
it's like, to me, when I think of oscillator, I think of like a moving, something that's like moving, or
Oscillate.
that's, yeah.
It's used Bollinger Bands like almost religiously.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed in the last few months, I just don't hold those up. I think because you just sort of, you build a case. And if you go in, well, it's a bear market, so you gotta be careful, but
Yeah.
I go in right now, like, with this perspective that I'm not gonna get involved in this trade. Now, keep in mind, I'm not doing 3-month-long trades. I'm doing more like 3-day trades. I'm almost a day trader, like super short-term swing trader. But my goal is to use a little bit of the news to get a reason why it might be a good time, but not use the news, whether it's buy or sell.
Right.
It's the indicator.
Yeah.
So I go and I don't use Bollinger Bands, but I go in with this sort of perspective that I'm not going to trade. And I try to build a case, talk myself into it.
That's a good way to do it too.
If I get 3 or 5 reasons, and they all sort of align, then I don't have to make any emotional decisions. I don't have to go, oh, it's going to get Coinbase.
Yeah. Yeah.
That as a indicator.
I want to talk about that. That's the coin I want to do, because I was getting all these requests. Would you like, someone actually DM'd me and they're like, what, did you buy Coinbase or ETC? I'm like, no. And they're like, why? And I was like, because we're in a bear market. Like, just because I'm not going to buy something and like hope that it's going to pump. Like, I just don't see like our market cap. That's another thing you have to look into. Also, there's other factors like the market cap and the volume and all that type of stuff. Because if you don't have volume in your trade, if there's not a lot of volume, it's not going to really do too much. And a good example of this is that my mentor sent me a DM and he's like, oh my God, Soma pumped. Are we in alt season? I was like, we're not in alt season. Like, we can't be. But so I have the Soma chart here, and I just want to show you, this is actually a really good example for volume, why volume is important. So this is the 1 hour chart. And if you look, we really haven't done anything. Like, we've kind of just been like just chilling, like really haven't done anything. Anytime we get like a little major pump, you'll see like a volume bar, like, and that means that there's people buying and selling. The red bar means people are selling. The green bar means people are buying. And one good thing, or one way what you can see is like this pump here, we saw a huge green candle come out of nowhere. And then it was staying, and then like when we started almost close to the sell signal, which is where the stochastic is crossing here, we start getting a red volume that the price is going to drop. So those are pretty important. I don't look at volume too terribly much, but it is something to keep in mind too, because especially if you're trading something that's a really small cap coin that doesn't have a lot of volume, or like something like Bitcoin, you're going to have a decent amount of volume, or Ethereum or Litecoin, but some of these like really small coins in the market, you're not going to have a whole lot of volume with them, and they're going to be hard. TA still does work for most of them, but it's going to be harder to use because you're not going to get a whole lot of volume on it. But and then Stacy was talking about the Bollinger Band, and just really, well, I'll show you guys on the ETC chart because it'll be a little bit nicer with.
You're gonna show what a Bollinger Band is?
Yeah. Oh well, I can show you right here. So a Bollinger Band. This is a Bollinger Band. This is the indicator here.
Okay.
And have you used TradingView or?
No.
Okay. So TradingView, they have free accounts, free basic accounts. I recommend you go and you sign up. It's free. You could also do Coinigy, but Coinigy they do charge after 30 days. But depending on what type of, and you can actually trade from Coinigy as well. But depending on what type of coins you're looking to trade, you might not. This is for like all the coins. Like you can chart all of them. But if you're not into super small market caps, like I like all these little like obscure projects and stuff, then you don't necessarily need Coinigy. But TradingView is free. Like you can chart like the Bitcoin and Litecoin, Ethereum. But yeah, so let me go ahead and go to TradingView, and then I'll show you the Bollinger Band. So let's go to ETC. I'm curious to see what happened to it because it is listed on Coinbase. No.
Is it?
Yeah,
Sure.
100% positive.
Just following FA too much.
No, I went on.
If you go to Coinbase app, it's on there.
Yes, I'm pulling. Yes.
Be sure.
Are you checking it out?
The ETC's on Coinbase.
Yes, it is $13.95. Yes.
Okay, so maybe
Should I-
that's why it's dumping again.
Should I FOMO buy? I'm just kidding. Okay.
It's too late now.
Yeah, I'm not fine. If it.
Sell the news, buy the rumor.
Yeah, I just didn't. I didn't. That's okay though. Okay, so let's go to here. So it got listed on Coinbase today. And I don't know, just by looking here, this is TradingView, by the way. And okay. Night mode. Okay. This is my audio and my technical support guy. Okay, we're gonna go to dark. And everybody, I know that somebody had requested that I get a screen that can share the charts. I'm not capable of doing that right now. I promise I will work on getting that in the future, but today, this is what I got for you. Okay, so this is the Coinbase listing, and I don't know what time they were listed. No, it's August 2nd. Let's see. Oh, today, this is the daily. Let's see.
Is it days? That's a day chart.
Yeah, so it's today. Today's the 15th, right? No?
16.
That's not the Coinbase exchange. You're on Bitfinex.
Why didn't it do it?
I was trading you and change that to show you what I mean.
No, I know what you're talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna go to.
Top right versus all exchanges. Or your top right? Yeah. Scroll down. to the
Oops.
bottom. Not that part. I think the menu you jumped off the menu.
Coinbase, right?
There you go. Yeah.
So this is Coinbase right here.
Should be a small chart.
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know.
Like I was gonna say, we'll do it another time. I'll show you how.
All right. Well,
You actually have to right click and copy the hyperlink from the button you just clicked, paste it to the URL, and then delete the word Bitfinex, and type in Coinbase right there, and then
okay.
it'll trigger.
That's totally fine. But as everybody knows, I suck at like this. A lot of the tech stuff. Sometimes I'm just like. Sometimes I can barely turn on or turn off a computer.
I don't even trade on it.
I don't
I
either.
don't want to look at Bitfinex
Well,
Wait, you got a VPN, you can trade on Bitfinex also, illegally?
go to OneFox. It's legal in the United States.
It's not like BitMEX, they actually do KYC.
Oh,
You have to
Bitfin-
show where you live.
Okay.
Oh, no, BitMEX, you can use your VPN.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's just market trade.
Yeah.
If you want a real full-fledged crypto exchange, a lot of them are, they
Where'd
actually,
we get her?
even KuCoin now does KYC now. So you can't just be anybody.
Right.
Well, with US, we can be on there.
What was your question?
Bollinger Bands. Bollinger.
Oh, yeah. So these are the Bollinger Bands.
Okay.
And what's really awesome about these are all MA lines. They're moving averages. Because like just a regular moving average, you'll get 2 lines that are running like throughout the chart. But what's really cool about what John Bollinger did is these bands, they measure volatility, and you can also use these as support and resistance lines really well. They're very accurate. So basically what they do, because they measure volatility, anytime we get a pinch on the Bollinger Band, like let's say we get a pinch down here, what it will do is if you can get a pinch, it'll automatically pop it back up very well. And it's pretty, on a lot of the coins with volume, it's pretty accurate. So that's why I like to use them. That's why Stacy had brought them up.
Doug would like to know, do you use Elliott Wave?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't. I know people that do. It's something I would like to learn and look into more, but I just haven't looked into them too much because right now this is what's working for me. Do you use Elliott Wave? Do you use Elliott Wave?
No, it's one of the viewers, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I'm just reading what they're saying.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. I know Lisa Edwards is really awesome with those. She posts a lot of really cool stuff. I don't really know how to use them though. But if you can master using support and resistance, like that paper right there, their support and resistance is like absolutely. Do you know about support and resistance?
Yeah.
Okay. So support and resistance, if you can figure out how to use these, very accurate. And that's kind of essentially, you can use Bollinger Bands for that too. But, and also too, another thing about the Bollinger Band, if you get a pinch at the top here, it'll cause, it means volatility is going to occur, and then it'll dramatically decrease down this way. So anytime you get a pinch, like a bottom Bollinger Band pinch, you can go up. If you get a top one, you go down. This middle line here was going to essentially act as your support and resistance depending on where you are. So if you notice here, we get this nice big pop up this way. And then price, like obviously it goes down here, it pops to the top, it pinches again, and obviously it needs to come back down. But you notice it is playing the MA line, this middle line here, and it's using it as a support area. So this case would be a bullish case, because even though we're pinched here and instead of popping all the way back down, we're kind of playing this support line up until it gets weak enough. And then we go back up here, and then finally we break down. We play it here, and then we go back down this way. So it's a really good indicator of what's going to happen. But if you're using the Bollinger Band and then you're throwing on some other indicators, which I would recommend starting off with the stochastic, because you're going to get a very clear signal of like a bull or bear cross, a buy or sell signal, and it'll help with that. So let's go back to over here when we get this nice big pump. Well, no, that one's not a good.
Observational.
Yes.
I like to find coins that if I'm going to do kind of shorter term, if they have a wave pattern. This thing is like, if you look at the stochastic, it's like random.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to figure out unless you combine it with other indicators what it's supposed to go do.
Right.
It doesn't just go woo, 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 you know? And so you can see that spot when there's huge up.
This one?
Like back one level where there's that pump.
This one?
Back one more. Not the RSI part, but the actual coin value to the right.
Okay.
To the right. Not that far. Back 2 waves.
This
Back
one?
2 wave pops.
This one?
One less. I mean,
The long
one
one.
back. The big jump in price.
This one.
Left.
Left.
I need help.
That's to the right. Now go to the other direction.
to
your left.
the left? Okay.
Keep going to the big price pump. Now don't look at the stoke chart side. Right, yeah, right there.
Is that, okay,
See how the stoach is so low?
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
I guess the only thing that would make sense is I don't know, to me, I want to see it for a big bump like that, I would expect for it to bottom out and oversold before you get that huge pump, but it bottom out here, and then you got I guess this was a double bottom. So that's like that's a bullish indicator then, right?
I guess so.
So I guess that's what happened is it didn't have to drop to the very bottom.
What I was noticing there is, I don't know if you look at divergence on the stoke. I use RSI, I never use the stoke.
Mhm.
So I would look for divergence.
Okay.
And I do see like, can just come up.
Yeah, please. Please.
Like if we have like these bottoms right
Okay,
here.
yes.
And the price is higher here,
Mhm.
higher lows and lower lows here versus the higher low here. And then I see lower lows on the price. So we have like
The divergence.
the
yeah.
divergence there. I don't know if you guys use that in stoke.
I don't see it,
Right, and especially if you put that out on a 1 day, if you put it in a 2 day or something, you would be more prominent.
You can see the tilt to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To that,
I'm still working on those. I always
Ten
forget.
thousand foot view first to go, does this one gonna make sense to me visually as its pattern is repeating, or is it gonna take some other work and other
Right.
indicators to make the case?
Yeah. No, that's divergences are a really good one to use too. I have a little thing and I look at them, but then sometimes I just see I'm just so used to the other stuff. That's what works to me, but it's all about finding things that works for you and figuring out why they work. So if divergences work for you and using like less indicators or more, whatever works for you, however it clicks in your mind, however you're able to spot patterns, because TA is all about spotting patterns. Like if you can see the same, just like solving a math problem. Like when I was taking math classes, I would literally do the same, take a derivative like 30 times studying for a test so I can memorize it. No matter what the numbers were, I would have the sequence memorized, and if you can memorize these patterns and see like a relationship or a sequence or whatever and apply it to trading and spot these patterns, just like the double bottom or the divergences, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to see, to execute a trade and do well at it, because you're used to seeing these patterns. And that's why paper trading is important, and that's why journaling all your stuff is important, is because you're going to see it. Like you're physically writing it down, you're telling yourself why this is going to happen, and then you can decide whether it works or not, and like write it down why. Write down why or why not it didn't work. So.
What do you normally write in your journal entries? Like what are the key things to that?
Well, I would write down I see a divergence on the 1 day, or I see a pinch on the Bollinger Band, or the stoach is bull crossing or bear crossing. Those types of things. Like all the charts that I do on Twitter, I always write down what like all those things, the little summaries I write, those are things I write in my trading journal. Because those like if I say something's bullish, and I'm going to say why it's bullish, or if something's bearish, I'm going to say why. I'm going to say why I want to enter. Like if I see a bear cross, that's telling me that price is going down, or like whatever. So that's why, or that's what those are things I'd write down. But for you, the divergence thing would be really good, because that would be one of your reasons why you want to enter or exit or whatnot. But I want to look at the ETC chart, because I want to see, today we says the 16th.
Yeah.
So like we're about the pump that said it should have happened. We got a little pump, and it actually, and this is why I think TA works. Like even though we had really bullish news, we had a Coinbase listing, we had a pump that went all the way up to this area, but it wasn't sustainable. And then it actually stopped. It stopped this candle here. It stopped and it closed between our below our resistance here. So it wasn't able to break resistance. So that's why this MA line is really important, and you can use it as a support and resistance. In order for this to become bullish, we would need to break and maintain up above it. And right now we're below it, and we're having issues staying above it. Yes.
Somebody, I don't remember the exact numbers, but somebody has an order on the books at KuCoin
Mhm.
for $16 million of Ethereum Classic at $10. It's already on the books, it's ready to go.
Oh wow.
So as soon as it ever were to jump there,
Mhm.
the whole coin is just going to reverse instantly. And like this huge order is going to pass through the blockchain and make the price go crazy.
That's going to be
So
insane.
that's another thing. There's the whales too, putting
Yeah.
orders on the books and just sit there for eons.
So
till
what's
they
the
got
price on
caught
that?
up. It's like what, $18?
Oh.
Sitting there at 10, but not to sell it. to buy it. But that's a lot of coin to go back to.
I'm surprised they didn't stack their buys. They just let it.
I know, it's like a dumb whale. Somebody buy in slowly.
Well, and that's kind
You're
of.
also assuming they're gonna keep it there.
I know, it's almost like a thing to get news.
Yeah.
So you buy it, even though nobody's gonna buy that order if it's $12 below what it is.
But it sounds like it would affect the.
Oh, it
our size.
did. People went in, FOMO'd in, like they bought a lot.
And where do you see the order? Do you see it on like finance? Do you see it, where do you see it?
Yeah,
Where
it's there, it sits there and buy.
Yeah.
It's part of it.
Let me s-
I would think people in these exchanges would also know, people that are waiting in the lanes and stuff.
Pre-ICO people, the exchange itself might be able to somehow, I don't know, get rid of, offload, built up amount of recurring plastic
Oh,
that
well.
no one ever is used for anything.
I have a really stupid question. Well,
Nothing stupid.
nothing stupid. So sometimes when I think about trading, since I'm not totally comfortable, say, doing it on Binance or whatever, I haven't done it, but I thought, is it possible to like, say you're on Abra or something, and you have your Bitcoin and you want to sell it, to trade it to USD, and then when you see the price drop, trade it from there to, okay, that's what you did, okay, so that's another way of doing it, but is that okay to do it that way?
Absolutely.
Yeah, whatever,
Okay.
whatever you're comfortable doing.
There's a thing called USDT,
Yeah.
which is just like, it's like parallel to the dollar,
Yeah.
but it's the coin. And yeah,
That's
if
what they have on Binance.
you don't mind the stress of using it and wondering if their accounting is real, then it's like much more convenient to use.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
That's
now,
the one we conceptually, do you sell the dollars at the top and hide them and hold the value of the Bitcoin in dollars? Wait till Bitcoin goes down and then take those dollars and buy back in here?
yeah,
Or do you do reverse? Because both ways you can make money as long as you know how you're going to get more Bitcoin wherever you decide to make the trade. That's the goal. We want more Satoshis. We want more Bitcoin.
yeah,
We don't care about how much it costs in dollars.
yeah.
We could even spend all these dollars and end up with less Bitcoin, even though we won trades. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but how do you, yeah, how do I make that, how do I know if I'm getting more
Technical
Satoshis? Okay.
You guys are like, well, like what I every Thursday night
Yeah.
after I get home, I actually pull up my Binance wallet and look at the total value of the Satoshi. And I just write it on a piece of paper on my mirror over here. So next Thursday I look at it again and make sure it's a higher number next week.
Yeah,
Because I don't journal as religiously. I get in the zone, I do the trading, then I gotta go work. I come home and do some more trading, or I go out and do
Mhm.
They don't always have to cross-reference the journal.
Whatever works, whatever technique works best for you, however you feel comfortable, like if whatever works for you, just try different things and see what works, and you know.
so you, but if by doing it that way, you can't ladder in or ladder out. You have to do it more on, like, if you're doing it through Abra and you're trading your money in, you can't really ladder it, right? Like,
You can still ladder.
you can still
Yeah,
ladder it?
yeah, absolutely. You can buy it
Not
on the
the
way
way
up
up you ever.
Yeah.
in chunks and sell the
Okay,
way
I
down.
didn't know if you could
or
do that on
vice
that
versa.
platform.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually don't know what Abra is, but.
Abra has fairly limited amount of, coins on there, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, or Coinbase or something, I'm just curious.
I use Gemini. I have no problem with it, and I'll like transfer money over, and I'll set buy orders. Yeah.
Just got USD, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Zcash. That's
And is Exodus just a wallet, or can you also, I can trade in Exodus, can I?
it. You can convert.
Convert.
Like,
You can transfer one coin into another coin
Yeah.
within the platform, and it's a wallet. You
Yeah.
can store a lot there.
Okay,
But you can't, it's an exchange. You
okay,
can't place
yeah,
an order and then have somebody give you that coin and you got it.
all right, just double checking.
It's
Right.
a good wallet because you keep your private keys.
Yeah, that's what I got
When
mine.
you actually own your crypto.
And then I would change my whatever into whatever, and then put it onto Binance.
That's centralized.
Yeah.
You don't own crypto.
Okay, oh, good, cleared that up.
so these, what I was talking about MA lines, there's different types of moving average lines. Like general exchange lines are gonna have stuff that looks like this. And we can talk about that really, really quick. So MA lines, that's, huh? Oh, where? Oh, here. Okay, cool. I always forget to do that. So the MA lines, this one has 3. I don't like to use the ones that have 3. I won't go over these right now. But let's talk about the order book. So you guys, does everyone know about the order book, like what it looks like? And you can go and kind of go through and see what other orders people have, the buy and sell orders. You confused? No? Okay, so if you, let's say you want to go on Binance and you want to buy some BTC. So you know about them?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, PoiFacts. Okay, so let's go back to ETC. And I kind of want to just go through this, and I want to chart it out for you guys really quick so you can see some of the stuff that I look for and why I look for it. So, excuse me. When charting this type of stuff, it's, to me, I like to zoom out as far as I can and look at the largest time frame possible to get all my major support and resistance. That's what I do with my Bitcoin chart. And let me just show you what that looks like before I start going in on this. And also too, TradingView is very difficult. It's like kind of a pain in the butt to, yeah, leave my chart, leave my stuff alone. These lines are not going anywhere.
I'm pretending like I never seen them.
No, these are horrible, these lines, but I don't care. So what I did, I like to zoom out to the largest time frame possible. That makes sense. And for Bitcoin, we can do this because it's nice and got a lot of data, a lot of history. Essentially, these charts, you can think of charts as like a journal, because it kind of it has everything historically, like all the different prices and all the different price action and the indicators, what they looked like and all that type of stuff. So that's another reason why.
Different colors, did you put that in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So those are,
Yeah, I have all different, because I've been adding onto this chart for a long time now because I chart it multiple times a day.
I can tell it's like electrospectrograph.
Yeah, so a lot of these are very important support and resistance areas to me that we need to, in order, if we want to get back, we want to break our all-time high again, we literally need to break up above this area here and then test this area here. So until for me to see Bitcoin bullish, I would need to see us break above this pink box here. It would have to. Like if we cannot get up above 9,000, we're not in a bullish scenario to me, because this is a very big historical resistance area here, and yeah. And the reason why I chose that is because we've been having, you see these 2 candles here, and also keep in mind do you guys know about candles, what they represent? Okay. Well, no, each candle, like if I'm on the weekly, this candle is 1 week. The price action for 1 week. This candle is 1 week. If we're on the daily, it would be this candle's 1 day. This one's 1 day. If we're on the minute, each candle would represent a minute. So depending on what time frame you're on, that's what those mean.
do you look at any candle patterns?
I have in the past. I don't look at them too much because I feel more comfortable with support and resistance lines because I feel price reacts so well to those. But I know there's people that are able to do it and they're able to spot reversals and all that type of stuff. So, but to me, this area is so important. This pink area is so super important here because it represents this candle here. And it also represents that we've had these 2 candles here. We've had issues with breaking this in the past. Like during these 2 weeks, we tried and we tested it up here and we were unable to enter the box. And then we tried this week too and we were unable to enter the box, and it was rejected the second time and it went back down. So that's why this area is very, very important to me. I would need us to make a clean break above this line and then play this line at the top of this box here, the zone box, and play use it as support at the top. Yes.
Are you placing the $9,000 box as your threshold to decide bullish versus bearish because of the number of times candles have shown up in that zone, or what's the main reason?
Me, really, because over these 2 weeks, we tried to break it and we couldn't.
But we touched it.
We touched it. So when I see 2 candle butts together like this, That to me is a very, very, very bullish or bearish, it's a very important support or resistance area to me. And the same thing with this area, this support line right here. We have two candle butts together, and to me, it's a really, really important area of, in this case, would be support. And then also too, we had these two wicks that drop down here that also tells me that this is another very important area, because every time we break every time we break and we hit down here, we don't completely break through. We just go ahead and kind of touch it and graze it.
What's the top of that big box? What's the value of that?
This one?
No, that big, huge orange box.
This one?
Yeah.
So this is I'm probably saying it right, but my capulation box, or how do you say it? However you say that. So that's my That's bad.
Okay.
This is a very bad box, and the reason why this box is bad is, I'll tell you why it's bad. It's because, well, you can't see this green line. Let me change this one. This ugly little, whoops, I just screwed that up. Okay, it's right there. Okay, anyways, this box is very, very important to me, because if we break below and we start to pound on these support areas, if we break this one right here and we break below these candle wicks, we're going to completely go down. And it makes me a little, we're going to go down. That's what I feel, at least. So this area is really important to me, and if you notice, we've played this line really well here, this price, and this was 61.59. We've touched down there a few times, so that's why this is the top of my box. And then the next important support area here is going to be at 6,014, and the reason why is because this wick over here touched down here, and on a smaller time frame, you're going to be able to see a lot more price action, but we touched down on that area, so that was a significant place for me. This area here, this price at 57, 58, 57, this is another really important level, because we stopped, I know it's super hard to see, I'm sorry guys. We have two long wicks that literally dropped down and they stopped right here.
They stopped at the same level back there.
Exactly, and that's why if we break this line at 58, 57, it's gonna be really, really, really gnarly, and I think it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down and it's gonna test probably this area here, maybe stop at this wick here at 51, and then after that, I feel like we're going to completely free fall and probably hit this area back down here around 43.
Because there's no candles.
There's no candles, there's nothing. There's nothing to support it.
It's just like,
There's just this big empty candle right here. The only thing that we see as support is we see this Bollinger Band that touches right down here, this MA line, so you can use this as a support. In this case too, we also see the Bollinger Band cloud here, so this might be another reason why I picked this area, and also because of this area, the wick here. But that's what this box is, and if we completely go break below even this area here, or even to this area, this is important to me, we're going to completely go bad.
what do you think, other than the miner's profitability threshold, what do you think that it likes 6,000 for? Why doesn't it just drop through to 3,000? I mean, is it $200 billion market cap? It's a round number. People don't want it to go below that. Like, why does $6,000? Why is that continuing to be the support? And supporting it and supporting it, and it never really goes below that. You know, like.
I don't know. I feel like it's a really big thing with support and demand, or support and demand, supply and demand. I feel like at that point, sellers, they feel like that people are selling, it's dropping, and then at that point, they're like, oh, I'm not going to sell at this point anymore. I think I can get more. So then I think that they raise the sell orders to higher prices, and then the whole thing with supply and demand occurs, and it's just not. I think it's a big psychological number.
I mean, you can see where we're at now.
I think that's totally right. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a huge psychological. It's also the 61.8 golden retrace zone.
Okay.
If you measure it from like just like all-time low, I mean, it's like you pick something
That's
like
where it'd be.
yeah, yeah.
Is it? Probably is.
It is. It is.
Is it? Okay.
That's
Or can I show you?
Yeah,
You
please.
can see in November when people sort of started to ride to the moon, right?
Yeah.
A lot of money came in right then.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we're at, right?
I don't know my lines.
So then it's like that's
How do
where
I
you
pull up,
start, that's where you wanna
indicators?
get out of it.
You're gonna go ahead. Don't reset.
So what if you
Go here. Let's exit
Okay,
out.
wait, let me go to trading view and just do a clean chart, yeah?
drop below 6,000,
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
they lose.
Go to tether.
But if they sell at 6,000, maybe they
Let me
get
do
out.
this. I'm like, don't touch my chart.
Yeah.
They just pay.
I work so hard on that
Looks like
chart.
your baby.
Yeah, because I use it. I literally use it all the time. I know tether doesn't have. Or let's go to.
Just do like Bitstamp or something.
You know what? For some reason, let's do it on Coinigy. I don't have anything on Coinigy.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's just my baby. Really? Oh gosh.
I think, see, this guy right here is the Fibbo guy.
Fibbo guy?
Yeah.
That's cool, so it makes sense then. Technically, the long picture has a support and resistance drawn at that number. It makes sense.
Okay, this one is. Do you want to sit here?
Perfect. No, I'll just draw it real quick.
Right. That one. Yeah, the fork.
Trace, if you just pick any middling number down there.
Let me go ahead and. Oh, can you see it, or you want me to put it to white?
Let me format it.
Okay. Go ahead and.
Yellow.
Okay, that works
And
too.
then I'll make this one
That works, that's
pink.
cool.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, so this one,
You are a 50-50 guy. I love it.
yeah, you could kind of see
That's it, you called it.
yeah, it's about there. It's about there. So
618.
I would use these for confluence, as one of your
And that's
reasons.
from the very, very bottom.
Yeah.
Thank
No.
you.
Definitely.
Right on, that's key.
Yep. That's very interesting. And actually, also too, 40. What did I say here on this chart? Where am I here? Oh my god. Sometimes I'm trading the view challenged, you guys. Okay. What did I say? I said 43.91 here on my chart, and on this chart here, it is 43.66.
It's $30. You're off. Wow, that's technical analysis right
That's
there.
technical analysis, and that's support and resistance, and it shows why all this stuff is important. And
So like tomorrow, you check, and if there are some indicators, like say 3 things add up, that maybe it'd be a good idea to sell, then you go from there.
yeah,
Like if your things add up.
yeah. Let's go ahead. Let me go back to what I have, and I just want to. All right, let's go to a shorter. Let's go. I mean, right now the weekly. Let's see. The Stoch is bearish on the weekly because we're heading down, but then the regular RSI, even though we have this little tick, but it's kind of not really telling us what directions it wants to go in. Because normally, since the Stoch is heading down, you would probably see that this would be heading down as well. But because this is kind of chilling and just hanging out, it kind of tells me that the market doesn't really know what it wants to do as far as price action. So this might tell me, depending on what the market is or whatever, this might tell me that this is a no trade zone for me, and I might want to wait and see what happens. And on a lot of the coin requests and a lot of the charts that I'm doing, I'm kind of stepping back a little bit because I'm seeing something like this that I don't have a definite direction. And if you don't have a definite direction, you don't feel like you need to enter into a trade, because you don't. You have time. Like, go ahead and take a step back and wait. But this right here is to me, if I don't have a direction on it, especially this one is the weekly, and this is like a really important one because it's going to dictate where price is going to go. I would take a step back and be like, hey, let me just wait this out and see what's going on. But let's go ahead and go to the 1 day and kind of see what's going on.
Oh yeah, what up, we're moving.
The indicators look good on this one, and
This is not financial advice.
this is not financial advice. Do your own research, and I'm going to say that at the end too, because. But anyways, okay. So this one right here, we see that the indicators that everything is taking off, which is that's cool. So that means it's good for the market. But we've had a lot of issues breaking this area here, and every time we do break, we go ahead and we test this 6,657 or whatever area here, and then we get rejected, and then we go back down. So we've literally been playing in between this support and this resistance area here. Right now, I would say that if we can break above this and maintain above this line, then we can start to retest here and retest here. And the reason why this yellow line is significant for me, there's a big support, or excuse me, a nice resistance area here. These two candle butts together. And another thing too, one of the things that I use is to help guide me is I use a Bollinger Band. When I said that you can use it as a support area, if you notice, we have this MA line that's right down here. This MA line literally, it literally lines up with my resistance line I drew, like almost at the top. Like it's literally hitting like almost the top. A give or take, there's maybe like this right here, yeah.
Which is the same level that the top Bollinger Band was on the previous reversal, which we're experiencing now again.
Yeah.
Right there at the yellow.
Yeah, so this area is a very important, if we can break above this and get above this this MA line, that would be bullish for me. Right now it's extremely bearish because we are under, I call this MA support, we are under support. And another thing to notice too, I don't know where I read this, I don't know if it was me that just saw this and I made it up. Probably read it somewhere because I can't be that smart. But another thing too is if you can also use this MA as a market sentiment indicator essentially, because if you notice, we were bullish here, we went up, we went up, we went up, price, all these candles, everything was going up, up, up.
China Bands Bitcoin.
Yeah, and then when we hit this resistance line here, we dropped the Bollinger Band had a downward tick, and then we started going down. In my opinion, we will not see a very bullish reversal until this MA line is facing upward, is climbing upward, like it was here. And that's something that I utilize on all different altcoins, is I want to see which direction it's pointing. Of course, on different time frames, it might look different, but on this particular time frame, even though we have bullish indicators down here, things are kind of, this is popping up. Unless we can...
You know what the MA is? Like,
this right here?
yeah.
What do you mean?
Like the number?
It's just, what do you mean, like, this is, the Bollinger Band's all standard settings.
Oh, that's a Bollinger Band.
Yeah,
Got it.
I'm sorry, I should have been, yeah, because we have a top...
Now I see it.
Okay, yeah, so
Yeah.
it is big, but yeah, those, and then also too, you have this area here. This was that line closer to here the other day, but this is another important area of support here, is at the 54 line, because the Bollinger Band essentially it's almost basically laying on top of it. Like if we were to dump below this, I think I'm hoping that this area would hold, and I would use this as a support area. And I would probably, if we broke between these two lines here, if I wanted to go long, open a long position, I would probably try to do so, or I would place bids in this area here, because it's a very significant area to me. If I wanted to go short, I would look at this Bollinger Band line here, or the MA line, the middle one, and I would probably think, depending on what my indicators were looking like, I would probably place a short in that area, just because that's where it kind of stops off, is in this area here. But your indicators also have to line up with what the Bollinger Band is doing. Yeah.
So how do you make money when it's coming down?
You-
What?
If you can kind of not necessarily predict bottom, because it's really hard to do. I made a short video on that talking about like different altcoin positions. It's on my YouTube channel. But if you can make money, you can make it by shorting the market, which some people do that, and you can also make money by buying an altcoin at a really good price, and then selling it when price goes up. So let's say that the market is dropping, it's completely dumping, and you're able to spot, you're confident, you drew your support and resistance lines, you have your indicators, you're charting, you're doing everything. You see that, okay, you're like, I think it's gonna stop here. So you wanna stack your buys and you wanna place some orders in this area here. You can buy here, like what Stacy did, and then when it starts to go up, then you can sell it. So you always, in a market, you always wanna buy the red candles, always. Like if you see something dropping and it's a project that you're interested in and that you like, you want to, I know that our bodies and our minds are like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. And because it is scary. Like I remember when I first started, Bitcoin was crashing to, I think it was, when I really understood what I was doing when I was trading, I think it was here in June. No, not June. Was it over here? Maybe it was here. I don't know. It was over... Maybe, no, it couldn't have been there. I don't know. I remember it was like crashing. It had to have been like in March, I feel like it was in March or something. I remember I like DM'd my mentor. I was like, oh my God, like what the hell is happening? It was really, really scary. But I mean, if you believe in a project and you like the project and you've done your research on it, those are the times when you want to buy. Right now it is very scary because of the market that we're in, especially with altcoins. But if it's like Bitcoin, if you can like buy, you buy the bottoms and then you just flip it.
Okay, jump in with them too?
Yeah, of course.
The thing that you trade against Bitcoin has to be safe. So like the US dollar tether is like a dollar. It's not volatile. It's going to be a dollar tomorrow, dollar the next day. I know it's dollar tether, but it's worth a dollar, right? So if it's going down and you buy on the way down with whatever dollars you have, you're getting more and more Bitcoin each time it goes down further, right? But now you exited and now you have Bitcoin, but you don't have any more dollars. So as it goes back up, you sell at a level that's higher than where you bought it, and in the end you have more dollars. So you got to think about something pegged to something safe, like a dollar, right? Does this make sense conceptually? And then
It's hard to
you use
understand.
it because it's safe and it doesn't change its value. Buying it with altcoins would be hard because the altcoin goes up and down and Bitcoin goes up and down. But keeping it in your head like clear, we're going down in the market, so I want to get more Bitcoin. How do I do that? So you have to paint that picture and don't do it in the reverse order. You don't want to push buy when you need to say sell and so forth, So you gotta sit there and like wrap your brain about how that looks. And then you accumulate more Bitcoin and then sell back to a higher dollar value. That's the way. But there's other ways too. She said another way. Same answer, but applied kind of like holding it and then waiting to sell when it goes back up already.
And if for some strange reason you wanted dollars instead of more Bitcoin.
But that's the
Then
thing.
you would, let's say you sold at 68 and you're gonna buy at 61, like I told you, you could see exactly how much Bitcoin you sold and then buy that exact same amount when it's low and then you have like dollars left over.
Perfect. Same
Or
idea.
you could buy all of it back into Bitcoin and then you have more Bitcoin. So if you prefer dollars for some strange reason, no, then you would just do it that way. You just go back in with the same amount of Bitcoin and then that cash is just.
So the ultimate goal is to change cash into Bitcoin, have more Bitcoin, right?
That's
Depends on you.
That, Or
Because
is
of
it
its-
just
because
to
of
collect
its-
Bitcoin just to cash out in cash so that you have a lot of cash?
Yeah, like we try to grow our Bitcoin as much as possible, just grow the Bitcoin total, but sometimes you gotta eat. So then we're like, okay, what do we do? It's like, well, let's see if we can like magically make some dollars, meaning that we're gonna buy it anyway, so we'll just wait. We'll have the same amount of Bitcoin, but now we make $3. So you can like hold back, and they're like, market's going down, so let's just let it go down. Now we buy that Bitcoin again that I was gonna sell, and now we just instantly poof those dollars disappear. So,
The problem is
but it could go the opposite direction, and then you just lost your lunch money you're gonna eat tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? We get antsy though too, like we never want to invest more than we want to lose.
Yeah, because anytime you invest something, any type of investment, always consider it as good as gone. Especially the crypto. Anything you want to invest in, don't care how much it is. If you're going to invest, just expect it's money you're never going to see again, just in case. Like we're in crypto, it's very volatile. Like something could happen with your wallet, or something, an exchange can get hacked, or all these different things, or you can send it to the wrong address, or all these crazy things can happen. But yeah, that's when I'm any amount of money I invest in, I'm always like it's going to be gone if something happens, and that's just the way I look at it. And I don't spend more than I can afford to lose, even if it's just a little amount. Even if I can just put in $20 one week because for whatever reason, or $100, whatever. That's what I think of in my head. So you never know. So, yeah. Any other questions before we close tonight? You guys can ask anything.
So what is a data miner in this Bitcoin? What is the definition of a data?
A data miner? I'm like, Vanessa?
Well, the mining, just, you gotta think of it as like, okay, so you got like Visa, right? Like the thing,
Get oncology.
you got a dollar, which is considered. Bitcoin is a currency that's
Wow.
money.
All that stuff.
Remember how much they take?
It's like a Visa.
I just charted it.
and baby. So you got both, it's a payment system and it's money at the same time. And the way that that's done is that you mine it, just like you mine gold.
Don't remind me.
But it's computer now. So we build these supercomputers, all over the world, and they're pretty much, they
Don't remind me. I just charted it for somebody.
find these Bitcoin, I guess I'll get a little more technical.
No.
You know the long string of
I know.
numbers on your address, like 26 digits or whatever it is, the
Wow.
uppercase, the lowercase, all that stuff.
I wonder why.
So when people are mining, they have to randomly find a number that starts with 13 zeros. Imagine trying to randomly pick a number that's 13 starts with 13 zeros and then so forth and so on. That would take hundreds of years, multiple computers. So what the machines do is that these miners are competing to see who gets that first digit with 13 zeros. And whoever gets it first gets those Bitcoins, which right now is 12 and a half Bitcoins every 10 minutes. The reason that it's every 10 minutes is that all the miners out there, the computer miners, the data centers, it takes them all collectively 10 minutes to solve that problem, to randomly generate a digit that has 13 zeros at the beginning. So then, what's happening is that while they're computing and they're solving this problem, they're also running a network, kind of like they're the Visa network. They're the ones running transactions, verifying transactions, making sure that it's true. So you can't copy paste the Bitcoin. It's impossible. It's safe. You can't hack it. I mean, the only way you could, I guess you could say theoretically, snag a Bitcoin that's in process is if you control 51% of all the mining power on the planet. But you literally have to invest tens of billions of dollars so you can see that one Bitcoin. It's not possible. So that's what that is. So basically, they're competing to solve this puzzle to get the first 13 zeros. I got the Bitcoin. Those miners get that Bitcoin. They pool their resources and they all get a little fraction, and it goes again. That's how long it takes, roughly about 10 minutes to solve that problem. And in the process, they're verifying the transactions. So that's what
And it's also important to know the difference between a fiat currency and a cryptocurrency. And you might think like, okay, if there's Bitcoin, there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin. So why not just put out 21 million Bitcoins? So that's part of the beauty of the way Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin and this whole technology. So with the dollar, you have the Federal Reserve, which is a private company, printed money. Like we don't have a say in how much money gets printed. And because of all this money being printed, there's inflation. So we hear people say like, oh yeah, when I was young, you could buy a house for $10,000. But now you can't buy a condo in the ghetto for $500,000. And that's because of inflation. The Federal Reserve just fires up the printer, and then, that's what happens. But with Bitcoin, there's no government, no entity, no company controlling this. It's a technology. And it's blockchain technology. So how are they going to put this currency out there? There's no one in control of it. So it's this technology, and it's set up to be mined. So there will only be 21 million of them, but each Bitcoin can be divided up into 1 billion pieces. So right now we're a little over 17 million that have been mined. And every 4 years, there's a halving period. So the amount of Bitcoin generated gets cut in half. So it'll get slower and slower to mine these Bitcoins, or harder and harder. And but let's say all of them have been mined, which will take more than 100 years. Then it just creates scarcity. And the more people that adopt digital currency, the more value it will have. So that's how I used to think, well, why do they need to be mined? Like, why is there this, math equation? Why, It's because there's no government or entity controlling it. So it's a way to generate the currency and also have a network to verify these transactions. In a nutshell.
pretty much, and right now, when you mine Bitcoin, what they call like proof of work, you're actually working to mine Bitcoin. It literally costs a miner anywhere between $5,800 to $6,100 to create one Bitcoin. That's the cost it physically costs between electricity, equipment, everything. So just like when you get gold out of the ground, is there any intrinsic value to gold? No, not really. We just think it's pretty and we value it. But the reason gold is valuable also is just that it takes so many barrels of oil to get the gold out of the ground. The guy who put gas in his truck, the oil it takes to make his tires, for him to get it, whatever, everything is energy. It's a transfer of energy. And so many barrels of oil bring the gold out of the ground, and really that's what gives the worth the gold value. So same thing with Bitcoin. It literally costs almost $6,000 to create one. So that's why we see a lot of resistance on it, because if it drops below $5,800, well, guess what's going to happen? The miners aren't going to sell Bitcoin again because they're going to be losing money every day and they're just going to hold on to it. That's part of the reason.
Do general people become miners? Like anybody on the street can mine this?
Not anymore. I mean,
Wow.
I mean, like now, if you want to like mine Bitcoin in particular, and you want to be profitable mining Bitcoin, you're either gonna have to like live in a place that's free electricity, that you have the electrical power grid and the transformer that the city will let you do it, or you plug it into a volcano, or you're gonna invest like at least $2 million into a facility somewhere in Texas or in Canada, and maybe you'll get an ROI in about a year.
Or you join a mining pool, which is you out there, people get together and do it.
So there's mining pools that you can do stuff. But yeah,
A lot
I
going
mean,
on in
it's just,
Iceland because of the geothermal energy.
Either that or you sell the shovels. You sell the shovels,
yeah,
right?
yep.
That's how you make the money.
Yeah, that's what we do. It's like, at one point I was just getting bitter about like, oh my God, I would have millions and millions of dollars if I didn't lose all my crypto. I had a portfolio of how much I would have had, and that wasn't helping. So I'm like, how am I going to get past this? I said, so to develop a business model where instead of buying Bitcoin at 20,000, maybe I just help people, educate them, they learn, and if they like what we do, maybe I'll buy and sell 20 Bitcoin and I'll them. So then I'll just offer them instead of just buying them. So that's what we're doing. Selling the shovels and renting the mules and showing people how to navigate to where they need to go.
Good data point about that. And kind of just like the same way we have to translate this market economic stuff into the chart. How do you do that? So you take the news I just read on a Coin Telegraph, plus some ideas I have about this company and project, and translate them into the chart. You have to make this transition from old ways of thinking about the news and how the news cycle tries to price. Well, I heard this story about kind of like on the money show work, energy exchange, value exchange between parties of the old. Yep. Okay. The value exchange between, say, in an old kingdom, a king over here and a king over here, they're going to go to war, and they need to find a way to determine what day they're going to attack one another, basically. So who wins the kingdom, right? And the old messengers, they had to run across the hills to get the message from one place to another. So you had to trust the messenger that he was going to deliver the correct day that they were going to attack. Well, what if he got intercepted halfway through and something happened to him and some other messenger came, said, we're going to come on Monday. And in actuality, they're going to attack on, Sunday night. That's an advantage. So you had to trust the messenger. The miners, the Bitcoin, and the network, it's decentralized. It's everywhere around the whole planet. You don't have to trust one centralized source to deliver the message, to validate a transaction. So it makes the value invaluable because we don't need trust. It happens by default because it's everywhere simultaneously. Does that make sense? So we would know that the truth has been delivered to that exchange of value or that money being transferred because the network has to determine, an impossible mathematical equation that then when they finally solve it, they're rewarded greatly because it took a lot of work, a whole lot of work. I mean, mining power is computer work, but it's still the same as human running across the land work, right?
Yeah, I think that electricity usage just for mining one block, I forget how much it is, but it powers like small countries in Africa right now.
Jeez, it's wild.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Does anybody else want to add anything else or talk about anything else? Any other tacos? Yeah. I'm having, before I go, you guys, I'm having an event tomorrow. I forgot, the place is called Seven Whiskeys and it's in downtown LA. So we're gonna, huh? Oh, 7 Grand. It's at 7 Grand at downtown LA. So we're gonna be there from probably 7 to 10. So if anybody wants to come join us, it's like if you guys are hearing this, you're invited. Everybody's invited. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be some other crypto people. Bitcoin Benny is gonna be there. He does a bunch of YouTube stuff. So come hang out, have some drinks, and yeah, and thank you Cryptospace for allowing us to come back here. And then we will have another meetup in September. I don't know when, but it will be on a Friday. All right. Bye, everybody. Okay. You will though, and